Hey there, it's Donna from redcarpetlearning.com, and today I want to talk to you about 3 reasons why your fabulous employee orientation might not be stopping you from having a high turnover rate in the first 90 days. So before I do that, if you find these videos helpful, please hit like, comment below, hit subscribe. Especially those likes and comments, they really help us with the algorithm. So if you're finding what we provide for you helpful, you can help us in that way. Okay, so let's say you have just an extraordinary employee orientation. It gets great comments, people are really engaged, you feel like you've given everything you've got to building the best orientation you can, and yet you're still struggling with employee turnover in the first 90 days. Well, there are several reasons, but I'm going to focus on 3 reasons why that might be happening. Number 1 is that you're not necessarily hiring the right people. And so a lot of what we look at when we're doing leadership development is slowing, and we're seeing results with this, by the way, slowing down the hiring process, which can be frustrating because you're still short-staffed, right? But slowing down the hiring process so you're making sure that you're getting absolutely the right fit, the right people. Because no matter how fantastic your orientation is, if you have the wrong people in that room, they're not necessarily going to stay. And so slowing down the hiring process in the beginning may be difficult, but it is helpful. And we have seen leaders who have done it and say 100% that it was worth it, because now they have a full team full of people who are the right fit. And ultimately, that's what you want. So that's number 1. Number 2 is you could have this fantastic orientation. Everybody's excited. They've fallen in love with your company. And then they get out on the floor and the handoff is the problem. The experience that they are having out on the floor when they connect with their supervisor, when they're working with their coworkers, is not exactly the same as what was described in that fantastic orientation. So there is a disconnect there. So what do you do in that situation? Well, for one thing is, I would recommend that you put supervisors, managers especially, and even some of the lead coworkers through that orientation so that you can have discussions in that room about what that moment should be, what that experience should be for new employees, and have those discussions that maybe people aren't having because they're just so busy. So take the time to have the discussions about what needs to shift. So the experience that is described in all of your promotional materials and in your orientation is actually what matches what happens when they get out on the floor. So that's one idea about that. And so the third reason is that maybe your orientation isn't as fabulous as you think it is. So, and let me just put a filter on that. If you have a 1-day orientation where you have, 20 topics or more that you have to cover, and you're just cramming them in, and there's no room for conversation, and there's no room, and it may be fun, and maybe you give them gift bags, and, maybe everybody in the evaluation says it's wonderful because they really haven't experienced anything else. That's all great. But if you're cramming too much in and there is no room for assimilation, there is no room for conversation, there is no room for learning activities, then it might be that it's time to rethink your employee orientation. So 3 things: either rethink your employee orientation, or look at the experience that people have after they go through their orientation, or look at your hiring practices. 3 reasons why you might be getting that turnover in the first 90 days.